Industries. Industry refers to an economic activity that is concerned with the production of goods, extraction of minerals, or the provision of services. Industrial development is the key to progress and development in the modern world. Today, the term industry is used to mean a productive activity in any sphere of life. In early days, craftsmen were the chief manufacturers of goods and goods were produced in their houses. The Industrial Revolution started in Great Britain in late 18th century, brought in great changes in the field of manufacturing. Hand-operated tools gave way to power-driven machinery, which resulted in the mass production of goods. From England, Industrial Revolution spread to rest of Europe, North America and Japan. At the time of independence, India was not an industrialized country, but we have taken rapid strides since then. Classification of industries. Industries are classified into several categories based on certain criteria. However, there are instances where these classifications fail to justify the criterion on which they are based. For the sake of our understanding, we classify industries on the basis of size, ownership, and raw materials. Classification based on size. The size of an industry depends on the number of people employed, the raw materials used, the capital invested, and the nature of goods produced. Based on size, the industries are divided into these categories. Cottage industry. It is a kind of household manufacturing unit. It employs people in small family setups using hereditary craftsmanship where ordinary tools are used to process raw materials. The raw material is locally obtained and the processed goods have a local market. Very small investment is needed to set up a cottage industry and transport hardly plays any role in it. It helps to add value to primary products. It generates employment in villages and it preserves the ancient art and talent of village craftsmen. The main articles made in cottage industries include potteries, baskets, handlooms, ropes, shoes, fish nets, etc. It is still an important industry in most of the developing countries including India. Small-scale industry. The use of power machinery, investment and external labor for production sets apart the small-scale industry from cotton industry. It requires hired and skilled labor and small machines running with power. The production of goods increases and the goods are sold in local as well as in outside market. The products of small-scale industries include electronic goods, brassware, utensils, furniture, textile goods, perfumes, leather products, etc. They can develop according to the needs of an area and can help improve the standard of living. Large-scale industry. The scale of operations in terms of inputs and outputs demarcates large-scale industries from small-scale industries. These industries run with the help of large machines and a large workforce and require a lot of investment. Mass production of goods in such industries require cheap and affordable transport to find distant markets. These industries usually make primary products which are used by other industries. Iron and cement, oil, chemicals, aircrafts and shipbuilding industries are the examples of large-scale industry. Classification based on ownership. On the basis of ownership of enterprise, industries can be classified into these categories. Public sector. Such industries are owned and managed by the government and its agencies. They are called public sector industries as the entire public or nation owns and invests in them. Bharat Heavy Electricals, Steel Authority of India, etc. are examples of public sector industries. Private sector. Private entrepreneurship, meaning resourceful individuals or group of individuals, set up these industries with their own investment. All the profits earned by it belong to its owners and they have to bear the losses, if any. Reliance Industries, Tata Iron and Steel Industry are some of the important industries in this category. Joint sector. This kind of enterprises are jointly owned and managed by government agencies and private firms. As they pool their resources together, both the partners share the advantages. Maruti Udyog Limited, Oil India Limited are some examples of this sector. Classification based on raw materials. Based on the raw materials used, industries may be classified into these groups. Agro-based industry. All such industries which derive their raw materials from agricultural sector or in which agricultural produce is processed to make a final product for use. Examples are sugar, oil, cotton, jute and textile industries. Trivia. BHEL, BHEL, is the largest engineering and manufacturing enterprise in India in the energy-related or infrastructure sector today. BHEL was established more than 40 years ago, ushering in the indigenous heavy electrical equipment industry in India. Mineral-based industry. Such industries derive their raw materials through mining. Examples are iron and steel, aluminium and copper industries, etc. Pastoral-based industry. Such industries derive their raw materials from animals or animal products. Examples are leather, goods industry, dairy industry, etc. Forest-based industry. Such industries derive their raw materials from forests or use forest products for processing goods for use. Examples are furniture industry, paper industry, etc. Factors affecting the location of industries. Industries have to be located after a great deal of planning as it requires huge investment. Such a combination of several factors determines the location of an industry. Availability of raw material. It is the most important factor in deciding the location, especially if the raw materials and finished goods are heavy or bulky or are perishable in nature. For example, in iron and steel industry, iron and coal are both heavy materials. Therefore, steel plants are located near iron ore and coal mines. Similarly, sugar industry is located near sugar producing area because if sugarcane is kept for a few days, it loses its sugar content. Labor. Industries require both skilled as well as unskilled labor along with technical personnel. Industries located in densely populated areas have no problems in accessing unskilled labor or untrained workers. But skillful labor is still a controlling factor for the location of industries. The textile mills in Ahmedabad are located in densely populated area, but the skilled labor or trained people are usually hired from an outside area. Power. It is a critical input in deciding the location of industries. Modern industries are largely dependent on power. Earlier industries were located near coal fields, but with the increasing use of water power, the industries are being located near water power stations. With mobile sources like oil and natural gas, power efficiency has improved in modern times. Electricity can be easily transported to longer distances. Nowadays, only those industries which require abundant electricity are located near the powerhouses. Transport. Location of industry becomes difficult in areas where means of transport are not developed. This is because industrialization requires raw materials to be taken to the site of production and the finished goods are to be taken to the market. All those areas which have the advantage of a good system of transport, roads, railways and waterways, have developed industries. The northern plains of India have good roads and railways and thus have main industrial towns. Capital. The establishment of an industry needs large amount of money. It is needed to purchase land, construct building, setting up machines and to pay for labor. Capital may not be an important factor in deciding the location, but it plays its role in growth and diversification of industries. Banks and financial institutions provide loans at low rate of interest as industries provide impetus to the development of a region. Industries are usually located in those parts where there is an easy availability of capital. Market. Market is a must for growth and development of an industry. The demand for manufactured goods plays an important role in the location of an industry. A good market should be accessible to the consumers and to the industry, and reflect the demand for different kinds of products if the manufactured good has to make a profit. For example, cotton cloth has a larger presence in the markets of hotter climate, whereas woolens do well in the markets of colder places. Apart from these, water supply, climatic conditions, and government policies are other such factors which determine the location of industries. Major industries. Iron and steel industry. Iron and steel is a basic industry as machines which are needed to run other industries are made of iron and steel. It forms the backbone of industrialization of any country because without steel, no other industry can develop. The raw materials needed for iron and steel industry are iron ore, coal, limestone, manganese, and large volume of water. As these raw materials are heavy, iron and steel industries are located close to raw material producing regions. They also require efficient means of transport as raw materials and finished goods are bulky in nature. Russia is the largest producer of iron and steel in the world, followed by Germany and USA. Moscow, Ural, and Ukraine are the regions of steel production in Russia. In Germany, the Ruhr Basin, and in USA, Pittsburgh and Detroit are main centers. The Kobe-Osaka region in Japan is famous for steel production, although Japan imports raw iron ore. In India, the main steel producing centers are Jamshedpur, Durgapur, Bhilai, Rourkela, Salem, and Visakhapatnam. Chemical industry. It is also a basic industry as its products are vital for other industries. Soaps, detergents, dyes, paints, and leather are among the industries that need chemicals. A great variety of raw materials is used in chemical industries. Agricultural crops, vegetable oil, spices, alcohol, and minerals like coal, petroleum, natural gas, sulfur, potash, etc. are the raw materials to this industry. USA has the largest chemical industry producing a wide range of chemicals. Russia also has large number of chemical industries concentrated around the region of Moscow and Leningrad. In Germany, most of them are located in Ruhr Basin. France also has well-developed chemical industry and is also a big exporter of chemical products. In fact, chemical industry is widespread all over the world. In India, the chemical industry is located around big metropolitan centers such as Delhi, Bengaluru, Mumbai, and Kolkata. India is one of the major producers of chemicals and drugs which it exports to other developing countries. Apart from India, China and Japan have developed chemical industries in Asia. Cotton textiles industry. The cotton textile industry is the largest employer of workforce in India. It is an important agro-based industry whose products have a worldwide demand. As raw cotton is the raw material, the cotton textile industry is generally located close to cotton growing region. Another essential requirement for this industry is humid climate, which does not allow the cotton thread to snap easily and helps in spinning and weaving. The spinning mills produce yarn, while the weaving mills produce cloth, and the composite mills produce both yarn and cloth. In USA, the cotton belt is located in the southern part of Georgia and in North and South Carolina. In England, Manchester and Liverpool have the largest number of textile mills. In Russia, Moscow is an important textile center. In Japan, the industry is developed in Osaka-Nagoya region. In China, local demand is quite high due to its dense population. Shanghai, Nanking, and Canton are the main textile centers in China. India is another major producer of cotton textiles. Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Kanpur, Kolkata, Chennai, and Coimbatore are the main centers. Jute Industries. It produces jute goods which are needed by industrial nations for packing the material. India is a major producer of jute, and all the jute industries are located around Hooghly Basin in West Bengal. Bangladesh is another major producer of jute, and many jute mills are located there. Railway Equipment Industry. Railway rolling stock industry is largely developed in Europe and North America. This industry manufactures locomotives powered with steam, diesel, or electricity, and rolling stock which include coaches, wagons, oil tankers, etc. In USA, the main centers of railway equipment are at Detroit, Chicago, Philadelphia, and New York. In UK, the main centers are Glasgow, Derby, and Manchester. Russia, Germany, and Japan are other producers of railway equipment. In India, locomotives are manufactured at Chittaranjan, Jamshedpur, and Varanasi, whereas railway coaches are built in Perampur and Kapurthala. Aircraft Industry. Aircraft industry made progress only after the Second World War. The manufacture of aircrafts is a capital-intensive industry. It requires skillful workers and high level of engineering skills. Constant research work is needed for this industry. This industry requires civilian aircraft for transportation of goods and passengers and military aircraft for fighting operations. A huge capital is spent on the research, design testing, and on the constant modification and improvisation techniques. USA is the major producer and exporter of aircrafts in the world. Russia occupies the next position. UK, France, Italy, Canada, Australia, Japan, and China are other important manufacturers of aircrafts. In India, the aircraft industry is located at Kanpur, Nasik, Bengaluru, Lucknow, and Koraput. Trivia. The Canadian aerospace industry is composed of more than 400 firms located from Newfoundland to British Columbia. It generates in excess of $23 billion in annual revenues through its global reach. Automobile Industry. Automobile industry has made major progress quantitatively and qualitatively. This industry is located where cheap and skilled labor is in abundance, easy availability of power supply, and good demand. The world's major car producers are USA, Japan, Germany, and France. Some big players in the worldwide market are General Motors and Ford in USA, British Leyland of UK, Volkswagen and Mercedes of Germany, Fiat of Italy, Honda, Toyota, and Suzuki in Japan. In USA, the major car-making centers are Detroit, Chicago, and Atlanta. In UK, main centers are London, Oxford, Coventry, and Birmingham. And in Germany, they are Berlin, Stuttgart, and Dusseldorf. Paris, Moscow, Tokyo, and Sydney are other important car-making centers.